Olympic Games. It wasn't the result that Ingebrigtsen would have wanted. Led the way as normal, but didn't get it right in that 1500-meter final. And Cole Hocker, who we're going to see next to two pacemakers here. Incidentally, Elliot Giles, who's going to be pacemaking, set a new world record on the roads. The new records have been set or reset recently, but great performance from him in Germany last week, and he finished ahead of Nuguse. Will be another one of the names to watch here. We've got Cole Hocker, Josh Kerr, Nuguse and Ingebrigtsen, the four top 1500-meter runners in the world here in Zurich, ready to run fast. You add in the experience of Timothy Cheruiyot, and then the youngster Laros, who's under 3:30, Nordas, Habs. There's just so many guys here who will know what's coming. They're all going to be following. Guess who? Ingebrigtsen says he's had a little bit of an infection or a bit under the weather since an incredible 3,000-meter world record in Poland. And let's not forget, he won the Olympic gold medal in the 5,000 meters. I think that's something which has been overlooked by many people, in the fact that he didn't win the 1500. He is still an Olympic champion from Paris 24. The question is, can he run away from everybody here? Can he chase a world record? He says not tonight, not here.
On your mark.
We'll see. Men's 1500 meters. Well, they've been asked for a pretty decent pace, but be interested to see what Ingebrigtsen decides to do. He's slotted in behind the two men who've been given that task of going out. And certainly Elliot Giles is well capable of going quite a long way, which would help Ingebrigtsen. Giles, great 800-meter, well, he's world class at 800 and 1500 meters. Nuguse slots in behind Ingebrigtsen. Then Josh Kerr. Kerr went back to the US, popped home to Scotland to go back to his old athletics club, chat to some of the youngsters there, which was great. But he'd said, no, I went back to reset, get myself ready for this culmination of the season. He knew it was going to be set up to run quick here in Zurich. So there they are, lined up as ever behind Ingebrigtsen.
Good pacemaking this from Rudolph, went through 300 and about 41. What's it going to be? It should be around 55. There we go, 55 and a half at 400 meters. Elliot, of course, Elliot Giles, inexperienced pacemaker. Ingebrigtsen, question mark over him, Steve, as he pointed out, although after that 3,000 in Poland 11 days ago, he has that sort of superhuman aura about him. I think even when he's under the weather, he could break 3:30, but we shall see here. There are men behind him who are fired up for this. Had a chat with Cole Hocker at lunch yesterday, who is really ready for this after getting beaten by Ingebrigtsen in Lausanne. But you know it's quick when they're strung out in single file.
Bit of a gap between Elliot Giles and Ingebrigtsen. Nuguse is behind him. Cole Hocker, the Olympic champion, following the world champion, reigning world champion, Josh Kerr of Great Britain. They are well strung out. Cheruiyot and Laros, the only other two kind of hanging in there. There's a bit of a gap to Habs and others after that. But look at Ingebrigtsen. For me, he's just leaving too much of a gap. If he really was serious, 151.17 at half, he'd be right locked in behind Elliot Giles, because I mentioned the fact that Giles can do a good job here. He'll keep going for a decent distance, but those lights are moving away from Ingebrigtsen, but they're all stretched out still. It's quick, but Giles will try and keep going as long as he can. Ingebrigtsen, then Nuguse, then Kerr, then Hocker. A bit of a gap then to Laros.
Well, all the main protagonists are there. It's wonderfully positioned. Nuguse here, breathing down the neck of Ingebrigtsen. He could almost climb inside the vest of Ingebrigtsen. Kerr letting a gap develop. Now that's interesting, because they have wound it up this last couple of hundred. Elliot Giles working so hard to help them for as long as he can.
Only Nuguse there at the minute. Kerr's working very hard at this stage, and he'd have to go some. Hocker can't finish quickly, we know he can, but he's a good 7 meters behind Ingebrigtsen. It's his teammate Nuguse who's closest, but look at Laros. Laros going well. World junior record was something which he only just missed out on last year, but Ingebrigtsen hasn't really got this going yet. The lights are moving away. There's still a gap to third, to Kerr and Hocker. The challenge is coming from Nuguse. Ingebrigtsen and Nuguse, and Ingebrigtsen has lost a few races in the home straight in recent times. Is it the turn of Nuguse? There's often somebody sitting on his shoulder. and the Norwegian tries to go again. It's neck and neck, but Nagus has got it here. He's got that little bit extra. 4 just past Ingebrigtsen. The winning time, 3:29. Ingebrigtsen second, Hocker third, Laros fourth, Kerr fifth. Well, you sometimes have to feel sorry for Ingebrigtsen, not only for the sense that there's always one of this great group of 1500 meter runners. It was Jake Whiteman in 22, it was Kerr in 23, it was Hocker and Kerr at the Olympics. Nagus wasn't far away, and then it's Nagus's turn tonight, the American winning in Zurich. It may well be that Ingebrigtsen didn't feel 100%. He alluded to that in the press conference yesterday, and he certainly didn't look as though he was really going for it, did he? He didn't latch on to Giles, and the lights kept moving away. Did his best, tried hard, but Nagus stuck to his task brilliantly. Good race from the two of them. Nagus, the winner.
So frustrating for Jakob Ingebrigtsen, Steve. I think that was a shadow of the man we saw setting that world record for 3,000 there. He's gone 55, 55, 56, 56 in effect there. He hasn't really had the power through that last 300 we would normally see. Great running from Nagus, nothing to be taken away from him. You can only beat who turn up on the day, and if they line up and they're a little bit sick, that's their problem, so to speak. And he doesn't win too many races, Yared Nuguse. You know what? He's a lovely fellow. He's one of the most modest, chilled guys on the circuit, and yet he's continually the bridesmaid, second, third, fourth. You know, he led the whole way around the Olympic trials, and then, of course, Hocker sprinted past to win. He had a fantastic run to get the bronze medal at the Games in Paris, but he was behind Hocker and Kerr. Great to see him smiling here tonight and winning a big, big race. Zurich is as good as it gets outside the major championships.
You're right, Tim, it's one of the big ones, isn't it, to win as a 1500 meter runner. All of the world records that have been set here over the years, the great winners, and Nagus joins a long list of incredible 1500 meter champions. Winning in Zurich, 3:29.21, just ahead of Ingebrigtsen. Hocker, the Olympic champion, third. Laros took fourth in 3:31.23.